Okay, we're here with Dixie Heights coach Tom Spritsky. Coach, you're going into you got Highlands coming in on Friday. The number one ranked team in the state, in the area. So how do you beat Highlands?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that you have to overcome. Number one, you have to overcome their tradition and their will to win. I think it was established a long time ago. But when those kids take the field, they expect to win every time they do. With that said, to overcome that, I think they're a team that you have to control the ball, keep it away from their offense, eliminate turnovers and penalties and big plays.
Yeah, we talked about that before. Highlands wins a lot of games when they get off the bus before they even play, just because kids are intimidated, and like you said, Highlands knows they're going to win. Out of the kids on your roster, who are you not worried about? What kids do you know are going to go out there and play it like they're the team that's favored?
I think Zeke and Cohorn and Bruns and some of the kids that have had DJ Hanlon.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our kids are afraid. I think it's our job as coaches to instill in them that we have the makings to beat them. And I told our kids, I said, if we do everything humanly possible in our power to beat them, and then we execute the game plan and we play 100% and we don't turn the ball over and we don't have penalties and we play as close to a perfect game as we can and we still don't win, then it's just something that sometimes you lose to better people and it is what it is. But I really think if we play mistake-free football and play physical and with the will to win that they play with, we'll have a chance.
Yeah. When you guys beat Trinity in the playoffs in 2004, I guess, was that a perfect game? I mean, what happened down there? What sticks out about that?
You'll never play a perfect game.
Yeah.
But the thing that sticks out most to me about beating them that night is as we were walking to the field, myself and the captains. One of our captains, Phil Gerber, said, "I can't wait for this game to start." And that I probably looked back on that after the fact and said, maybe our guys weren't scared and they weren't intimidated and they made it happen. Maybe it was just a hoax. I don't know, but he said it. I think he meant it, and we did it.
Yeah. You mentioned Zeke Pike before. I mean, from the start he's got recruiting-wise, it's looking like he's going to be the most recruited kid in the area since Sean Alexander. I mean, are you ready for what is going to happen in the next year or so? Because he's still just a junior.
No, I'm not ready. I've already been hit with phone calls and people stopping in and mail and things that I tell them all, this is uncharted waters for our school just because we've never had a kid get that kind of attention, more or less a senior year or even, as early as Zeke's getting all the attention. And, a lot of that is, his pedigree and some of it's, he got out this summer and hit a lot of different camps in different places, so he's been seen and people see him. I think, personally, the difference between Zeke and most of the heavily recruited D1 kids here is, I know people question whether or not he can be recruited as a quarterback. I think most of these schools are recruiting him as an athlete, a kid that can play tight end or defensive end. They see his side, his athleticism, his aggressive nature, and all those things. So in the end, I think they're recruiting for what he can be down the road. And, some probably say quarterback. I would think most are probably skeptical right now of him being a quarterback. It's kind of like I talked to somebody today, or maybe it was last night, about Miles Simpson, and that, Miles is being redshirted and because of some injury problems, but he's getting bigger every day apparently, and the jury's out on whether he'll actually be a running back or an outside backer or a safety or something like that. So, Zeke's, in my opinion, getting all of his attention because of what he can be in 3 years.
What's he done this year that's made you? I've seen him make a couple plays where you don't see kids make those type of plays. Have there been any that he's absolutely just floored you with?
Oh yeah, I mean he's made a couple of plays, this year that we've never had a kid that could ever do it, and it's just he made a throw against I'm trying to think, maybe it was Simon Kenton, where he was practically sacked and got it out to Cohorn run for a reception. But he's making some mistakes too. So
Yeah.
for all those good things that he does, for our offense, he's hurt our offense at times by throwing the ball to the other team and fumbling when he's running. He's a talent, no question, but he needs to do a better job of taking care of the ball for us.
Talking about players like that, obviously you're known as more of an offensive coach. I mean, and I guess you've been a head coach up here for 16 years now. Have there been any players on the other side of the ball that you've had a game plan specifically for and still couldn't stop or couldn't account for?
Oh, somebody always has somebody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know when Brent Grover played at Highlands, he was an awfully good player. Highlands has had lots of really good players over the years that have been guys that are, difficult matchups. Simon Kenton this year, we knew going into that game it was going to be difficult because of their aggressive nature and their kids' ability to play physical and run. There was Scott Kuhnheim down at Sam Flynn at Covcath.
Yeah.
I mean, we've played against a lot of really good players, but it's a team game, and usually one person on the other team can't do it. They need help, so you just kind of approach it that way.
This Highlands game is a district game, obviously, to go towards postseason seeding and things like that. You guys lost a game to Covcath last year that kind of turned on a bad call that ended up being a bad enforcement of a penalty. In a game like that pretty much cost you guys a home playoff game, how do you keep from going nuts, or do you just go nuts?
Well, I certainly wasn't happy, but officials, make calls sometimes that don't go your way. And the one thing I said after that game was they didn't cost us the game because we had opportunities to win that game. When that happened in that situation, it was I believe 21-20 up. We were winning, so I mean, it didn't help, and it kind of hurt the momentum of the game. But they certainly didn't cost us the game.
You talked to that official since?
I haven't. I did scratch him this year, but no, we haven't talked. I actually talked to some people in the association that called and said that the call was shouldn't have been called, and it was enforced incorrectly. But I don't have any personal ills against the guy, but I would have liked for him to apologize, but that never happened.
Like I said, 16 years. I think you're the second longest tenured coach in the area. I mean, what's changed the most about high school football since you became head coach here?
I think just and I think you and I talked about it last week. The ability for the quarterback to be able to run and pass. Yeah. It's made the offenses more multi-dimensional. It makes it much more difficult for you as a defensive coach to prepare, because you used to be able to not worry about the quarterback, and now you have to. So, just the evolution of the passing game and the zone play and the zone read and all the things that the college people have invented and that we've stolen and used with kind of lesser athletes has been a lot different.
Definitely. Thanks, Coach.
Sure.